guys, we thought we're gonna do the Q&A in this episode in a special location. We are on the Whitsunday Island in Trans Bay, and we just anchored for the night, and we're gonna go through some questions that you guys asked during our trip, whether you are following us or you met us in person during our travels.
No, so one of the most asked questions is how long do you plan on traveling? And well, we don't know. Our initial plan was to travel for around half a year, 7 months, 8 months. But yeah, it really depends on the budget, I guess. Which comes to the next question.
Yeah, some of you also asked us whether we are planning to work or do we have a budget and how we work out all the finances. During the last 2 years, we saved up a bit of money, and that allowed us to buy the Troopy and put the other half of the money to our shovels, and that's how we finance ourselves. So we have some saved money, and we just live off that. Another question was one of our YouTube followers, and he asked us how we can afford all of this. Well, as I said, we did save up. We are both in IT, we are developers, and we lived in London in the last 2 years.
Yeah, basically we were freelancing, and we just didn't spend all that we earned, so we had a little bit of pocket cash for the trip.
So the next question is, where do we sleep? Obviously we sleep in the Troopy, but where do we park and how do we pick our sleeping sites?
Yeah, mostly we use wiki camps and decide on where to park for the night based on the comments and the likes and maybe the price, because we usually go to paid campings, but mostly we try to just be at free camp areas.
So whenever we can, we do aim for the free camping sites. There are some of them, or the really cheap ones. Like most of the, I think all of the national parks in Queensland are quite cheap to stay at. It's about $6 something per night per person, so that makes us $12, which is a great price. And obviously the location is beautiful.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do stay in caravan parks, and that's because sometimes there is no other option than to stay at the caravan park.
Yeah.
And very rarely, if we have a very small zone that we have to be in, for example, before we were crossing to Fraser Island, we stayed in a hostel. And we do sometimes couch surf or stay at friends' place. So sometimes we will find fellow Hungarians who would allow us to park in front of their house. It's a nice way of finding and meeting new people.
Yeah.
Also, as well as staying at a cheap or free site.
One funny question is where do we have showers? Well, if you stay in a hostel or stay in a camping area, then we can shower there. If there's no showers, then we don't shower.
That's not true.
Well,
No, most of the beaches in Australia have public showers, which are mostly cold water showers, but we still go there. Like it's 30 degrees outside, so you don't need a hot shower really.
yeah, during the day it's fine.
It's totally fine. If no beaches are nearby, then we go to the almost free option, which is public pools.
Oh, yeah.
I think these are the most frequent places, yeah. And some parks as well have showers, so there are a lot of public shower options.
Yeah,
So-
we also recorded a video about a fun place where they just put a shower outside on the tree, and now you can see on the video. And this is how Sandra took a shower.
This was at a
And
free
myself,
camping as well, so it was a free camping with free showers and free toilets and everything. It was just awesome, and the water was great as well.
Yeah.
And that comes to the next question, which is, where do we wash our clothes?
Do we wash them?
We do wash them. I wash them. We take our laundry each week to a laundromat. You can find it in almost any
Yeah, it's very
town.
popular
It's
in
very popular
Australia.
in Australia. And these big laundry machines usually just take 30 minutes to get your clothes washed. And they are in different sizes. They can go up to like 10, 12 kilos even. So, and they also have dryers. So we are usually finished with our laundry in about an hour. So it's pretty great. And the best laundries even have Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
which is just awesome. One more question was about how the bed works. We'll just show that in a little video. That's the easiest part. Basically, I just pull out the bed and then just unfold everything. And
Put the second mattress down. and
yeah,
then-
it's quite quick now. We are usually done with our evening setup in about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. And yeah, it's very comfy, so we are totally fine with it.
So yeah, this is how the bed works. Easy, right? You can just pull out that part and hop on it. So what about the questions from Facebook?
Yeah, we almost forgot that.
Yeah.
Some of you asked whether we interact with locals and if we made any new friends.
Yeah, we met quite a few people during our trip, mostly at big cities like Gold Coast and Brisbane, because the camping camping spots there are really expensive. So we just thought of sending out messages to some Hungarian people on Facebook groups, and they were really very welcoming and let us stay in front of their houses. And we also, yeah, had a chat with them, we met them, yeah, had some beers and
Went out for
Wow.
kayaking one day.
yeah, went out for kayaking. It's really good to see there are a lot of good people here.
Yeah. So that also answers the question about how we socialize and relax, which is just meeting other people and sometimes opening a cider next to the Troopy when we are done for the driving for the day.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the next question was, what is the most stupid thing you've done during your trip so far?
the first thing comes to my mind is driving at Rainbow Beach. Because
Definitely.
we were very inexperienced and we didn't know a lot of things about sand driving, but we got very lucky, I
Yeah.
think.
Some other questions as well about cooking and like general house duties. Rita asked, where do you cook? Where do you wash your dishes? How often do you do grocery shopping? And whether we have to stock up on food and water supplies.
Yeah. Well, mostly we are very close to cities, or in cities, towns, bigger towns, and we can just buy the food from day to day. Maybe stock up for a couple of days, I think.
Yeah.
But if you go to like Fraser Island or camping in the bush for several days, we just buy
In
more
advance.
food. Yeah. And we have a fridge, we can store the food there.
So what happens usually is we have a small cooking stove.
Yeah, it's stove like a gas stove.
A gas stove, and we usually cook like every other day, so about 4 times a week. And yeah, we just cook next to the Troopy. Doing the dishes is a bit of a problem. It's not quite easy to do the dishes. Sometimes we do it at day use areas where it's
Yeah,
a
in
lot.
parks, for example,
Or in
there are
parks.
taps, water taps, so we can just use that and clean the dishes. Or we use our own water
Yeah,
and just open it a little bit, done without wasting it, and yeah, we just clean it,
yeah,
clean the surface off, and then when we are close to more water supply, we just clean it
refill
properly
and refill the
and refill the water as well. Yeah.
Alright, last question for today is what are our experiences with living or sleeping within a car? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
I was just sleep in the car.
It's a lot better. It was quite rough in the beginning, but since we put
Because?
in, yeah, it was a bit humpy, but we put in a kind of plate above the wooden racks. It's not small at all. So our bed, everyone thinks that it's a really small bed, but it's about 125 wide in centimeters, and it's just above 2 meters in height, so it's totally fine for us. The good thing is that we can stop anywhere, almost anywhere, and we just stop when we feel like it.
Yeah, we can have a nap.
Or we can have a nap.
We can even sleep there.
Yeah, and we have slept at some beautiful places, like on a mountain top,
Yeah.
looking down at the Whitsunday Islands. That was just amazing. Or seeing the sunrise like almost every morning if we decide to. That's great.
But we also got asked to move away because we slept in a car park and they
They asked us to move,
Yeah.
so that was a bit tough. At 11 or midnight, someone knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, you guys have to move." Yeah.
That's okay.
But it's fun so far. We almost forgot that we have some more questions from YouTube. Alex asked whether we are going on the coastline of Australia or how we are planning the trip. Well, we are taking mostly the coastline because most of the interesting things are on the coast. But we are heading inland soon, and we are aiming for Alice Springs by Christmas. Right?
Yeah. And then all the way down to Adelaide and maybe going to Tasmania in the summer if we have time for that. And just continue our trip west maybe or east.
We'll see.
And doing a big figure of 8 instead of a big loop.
Also, if you are interested more in these specifics on where we go, you can go online and find the map where we put our destinations. So either on our Facebook page, on the left hand side there is a map menu and you can see the map there. Or if you go on our website, everywheretogether.com, in the About section there, at the bottom there's going to be a map that shows the same destinations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one more question about sailing. As you mentioned that we love sailing, and he asked whether we would consider sailing around the world or something like that.
Yeah, why not? We just need a boat. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks everyone for all the questions, and hope you guys enjoy the upcoming episodes and have fun. Cheers!
See ya.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.